Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Relationships. On today's video we've got two stories with updates that have to do about girlfriends. The first one is about what someone would do for a girlfriend, and the second one is about the impact a girlfriend can have in a family. A quick side note before we begin, I want to remind you that there is another Lost Genre channel that is only focused on Am I the A-hole? It's called Lost Genre AITA Daily. You'll find the link in the description. This one is from user Throwaway Michelin Star. My 21 male girlfriend's 21 female grandfather is a Michelin star chef and is visiting. I am supposed to cook for them, but I cannot cook. What the F am I supposed to do? Context. We've been together since around March 2019. Yeah, I love her with all my heart. First of all, please don't judge me. Yes, I am a 21-year-old man, but look, I just cannot cook. Sure, I can make something like very basic pasta, a boiled egg, etc., but I absolutely cannot make anything where you have to prepare multiple ingredients. When I cook, the food is either done or it's not done. I have no experience with doneness. I do have my redeeming skills, but cooking is just not one of them. I have tried following recipes word for word, but just have had no luck. My girlfriend and I are both rising seniors in college, and I have my own apartment near campus where we will be meeting for dinner. When I agreed to make something, I thought I could just BS something, but then when I mentioned it to my girlfriend's brother, who I'm friends with, he told me that their grandfather was awarded a Michelin star some time ago. I asked my girlfriend why she didn't tell me, and she said she didn't want me to freak out. I never cook in college. I've always just relied on dining hall, eating out, Uber Eats. I don't even have dishes. The only thing I can possibly think of is that I know a fair bit about wine, as much as a 21-year-old can know, so I could definitely get something good on that end. I really don't know what I'm supposed to do. Should I just push it as hard as I can for eating out? Should I pull a Seymour and buy takeout from a steakhouse or something? If I do that, should I tell my girlfriend at least? I'm sorry if I sound like I'm panicking. I just love this girl so much and I don't want to leave a bad impression on someone she's very close with. Wow, scrolling through the sub, I'm glad to hear I'm not alone. Wow, I even spelled Michelin wrong in my username. I'm just a big fan of kitchen nightmares and keep imagining this is gonna be like Gordon Ramsay or some crap like that. Edit. So I read through a lot of the comments and I talked about it with a close friend. We want to try a test run like I pondered in another moment. If the test fails, then we will have to just accept that I will have to say something. So the plan we thought out of would go like this. I will invite a professor who we'd let into the plan, and a friend of his who's a foodie for dinner at my place with my friend under the guise that I just want to test my cooking. We'll order takeout from a top nearby steakhouse and keep it under heat lamps so that they 1. Stay warm, and 2. Maybe slightly decrease in quality to make it more believable. I'd also have to buy some cheap steak and just throw it in on my stove to get the smell in the air and have dirty cooking dishes. I'd also have to memorize the recipe for a steak and watch some YouTube vids to understand the nuances of jargon in cooking. Then we see if it works. I also have decent enough experience with wine, mostly red though, not white, to be able to properly taste and describe without having to fake it. If that doesn't work, plan B would be to do what some other commenters suggested and straight up tell him I'm not very experienced, and maybe ask him if he can give a demonstration of some dish from his restaurant, and I'd happily pay for whatever ingredients. My big reservation with this is that I don't want to come off like I'm not trying for this, since that seems like it's very low effort. He's coming all the way from France, where he's from. Girlfriend is French-American, just in case anyone wonders. So I really want to leave a positive impression. I'm absolutely head over heels for this girl, so I'd like to leave the best possible impression. Final update on this post. Okay, I'll just make something. I'll figure it out between now and then. Well, you can definitely tell that OP is in love with this girl if he's going through all of this trouble of planning these elaborate schemes to try to fool a Michelin star chef. In my opinion, I don't think this could fool a Michelin star chef. He'd probably see right through you if you're just, winging it and faking it. But in any case, we do have an update like I said before, so let's get to that. Hey guys, thanks for all your advice. My girlfriend's grandfather came and we had our dinner yesterday, so this is an update to that post. I just want to say first, I am drunk, so please excuse any typos. Anyway, I was really freaked out all summer about wanting to impress him. I was seriously considering pulling the Skinner scam and buying takeout and disguising it, but I decided to just go for trying to make something myself. I spent pretty much all of July trying to make steak. I started with cheap stuff and it was really hard at first, but I learned from my mistakes. I wanted to go all out, so I bought really nice steak to make when the day came. I made 3, one for all of us, and it ended up being better than I hoped, though obviously not Michelin star quality. I also bought some really expensive, at least for a college student, Cabernet to pair, although he actually brought rum, so we had both. It's around midnight on August 16th here in the eastern United States. This happened on the evening of August 14th. He came early due to changes in our school schedule. He said that the steak was nice. He and I went out for burgers and hot dogs the next evening, today, but technically actually yesterday. It was just him and I. We also had a metric F-ton of beer. All in all, it was a really positive experience and we got along very well. I'm glad I didn't risk trying to pass off steakhouse food as my own, though I still want to try to see if I can fool my professor's friend. Maybe after lockdown has passed. Grandfather, girlfriend and I all got tested before meeting for dinner. I really love my girlfriend. Well, good for you, OP. You were able to bond with your girlfriend's grandfather, which was your ultimate goal, so there you go. I have to say, it is a good thing you didn't try to fool him buying steakhouse food and passing it off as your own. It was just too elaborate for what you wanted to do, and it wasn't worth the risk. Alright, now let's move on to the next story. This one's from user ThrowArray Evil Stepmom. My mom passed away 5 years ago, and I think of her every day. My dad went through a really bad depression and I had to take care of myself basically. During the Christmas holidays, my dad told me that he had been seeing someone for a while. I noticed that he was happier and I guess I was happy for him. I didn't want him to be lonely forever, but I did feel like my mom was being erased completely. He never wanted to talk about her and he got rid of all pictures with her in them. He said that his girlfriend will be spending Christmas with us and then moving in. I wasn't happy at all. I don't even know her, but I didn't say anything. I met her on Christmas, and usually my dad and I put the star on the tree that day. We would put the star on the tree and watch The Grinch. It's our tradition, and we kept it even when we were grieving my mom. It's the only tradition from when she was with us that we actually kept. When his girlfriend came over, he put the star on with her while I was in the bathroom. Also, we didn't watch The Grinch because she hates it. I know I sound spoiled and childish, but I was so angry. We've been doing this my whole life and she just came in and destroyed it. The whole night she didn't even bother getting to know me at all. She was all over my dad and pretty much ignored me. I told my dad about how upset I was about our tradition and he said I should just grow up and that things change. I didn't like her because she gave me a bad feeling, so I never got close to her. She complained to my dad about it and he got mad at me for not making her feel welcomed. I felt bad because she makes my dad really happy, so I tried being more friendly with her. In front of my dad, she was nice to me, but when we were alone, she ignored me or spoke to me with attitude. She even told me that I was a brat and make my dad's life harder. I told him, but he didn't believe me and yelled at me for trying to sabotage his relationship. He said that I wanted him to die alone and be sad and that I was selfish. I was so shocked because none of it is true. My dad basically treated me like I wasn't there at all after that. I felt like I did when my mom died, all alone. I stayed up really late one night because I just couldn't sleep and wanted to sneak in a midnight snack. The girlfriend was in the kitchen on FaceTime, so I decided to be nosy and listen. She was talking about my dad and how much she loves him. Then she said he had this dumb daughter and she wondered if it was too late for adoption. Her and her friend laughed at that. She said that I was a little bee and she hated me. Her friend then said something about boarding school or military school, but I left so I didn't hear the rest. I was so exhausted from all the crying I did, so I actually slept. I didn't tell my dad and I don't even know if I should since he probably won't believe me. I really miss my mom. I kinda wanna go live with my grandparents, mom's parents now, but I don't want my dad to think that I'm leaving him. What can I do? Can I even do anything? How do I get my dad to listen to me? Would I be wrong for leaving? OP, I don't think it would be wrong for leaving. I kinda think it would be very difficult to talk to your dad because it seems like his girlfriend really got in his head. For me, it's hard to believe that a parent, a dad, would say to his daughter that she is selfish and that she wants him to die alone. To me, that seems like something the girlfriend planted in his head. Maybe the girlfriend does love him, but she doesn't love you, and you two should be a package deal. You guys are already a family, and anybody who's gonna be part of that family should love you as well. But apparently, your dad's girlfriend doesn't feel like that. But as you guys know, this is just my opinion, and OP gave us 2 updates, so let's go ahead and start with the first one. Hi! Since my last post, I spoke to my grandparents and told them everything. I asked if I could stay with them, I wanted to, and they agreed. I then spoke to my dad again and tried to tell him how I felt and what I had heard. I didn't want to film or record because I knew that he would be mad at that and wouldn't listen. He didn't believe me again and thought that I was jealous of having to share him with someone else. I got upset and told him that I was leaving so he could live happily ever after without the burden of having me around. He looked shocked, but didn't say anything. I had already packed my bags and had brought some things to my grandparents' house already. My dad didn't speak to me for the rest of the day. My grandfather picked me up and I've been there since. I haven't gone home and I haven't heard from my dad. My grandparents told me that they would handle my dad and I shouldn't have to be the one doing it. I'm upset that my dad hasn't called or texted me once to see if I'm okay. At the same time, I'm feeling so much better being with my grandparents. My grandmother is probably the sweetest person and my grandfather is a little rough around the edges, but he's really a softie. Alright, OP moved out. And now let's move on to the final update. My dad came to visit me at my grandparents' place to talk to me. He brought his girlfriend with him. He said, "Girlfriend and I have been talking and we decided that it's best that you stay here." My dad said that I can come clean out my room completely and he'll help. He also said that after I get my things, we should also take a break from each other and reevaluate things in a few months or however long it takes. His girlfriend then said something about how she'll take care of my dad for me. In a few days, I'll be going over with my grandparents to get my stuff. We'll also be getting the important papers that some of you have mentioned. It doesn't look like I'll be going home anytime soon. I have a new home now, I guess. To be honest, I have been feeling pretty bad about some of the comments, especially the ones saying that since I probably remind him of my mom, that's why he's like that with me. He got rid of everything of my mom's and I was the last piece of my mom, so it makes sense he doesn't want me anymore. I really wish she was still here. I think he wants to start over and I wasn't part of that plan, so I guess that's it. Thank you all for the kind comments. OP, your dad is a moron. I am so sorry you have to go through this because it totally sucks. He's completely manipulated by his girlfriend. When he said that you need to take some time apart to reevaluate things, reevaluate what? You're his daughter. You're his family. I honestly can't understand what he needs to evaluate in months' time about you being his daughter. Your dad's girlfriend really sank her teeth in and is doing a great job at erasing you from his life. This is actually very sad. I truly hope he comes around soon, or he snaps out of it, or something happens that'll bring him back to you, because he's your dad. If not, someday, when the girlfriend leaves or, moves on to the next best thing, he's gonna realize how he screwed up his life by taking you out of it. Stupid man. Sorry for the long rant, that's just my opinion. Alright, and we've reached the end of the video. I hope you guys liked it. I know this last story doesn't have a happy ending, but it does bring a very strong topic. So, if you did like it, go ahead and click like. If you still haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. And also, remember that there's a new channel, Lost Genre, Am I the A-Hole? Daily, where every day you'll get the top 3 posts of the sub Am I the A-Hole? And lastly, don't forget about the Lost Genre subreddit to share your posts and stories. Alright, and having said all that, I will see you guys on the next video.